Did Spotify just choose a side and punch AI in the face? Because the new verified by Spotify badge is one of the coolest things Spotify's done to protect us as real artists. It's designed to signal whether it's a real human making the music versus AI. And AI personas or AI artists are not eligible for the badge. Spotify is doing some things by checking out the listening activity, doing policy compliance, and checking for evidence whether this is a real artist presence or not. And they do that to see if there's concert tickets linked or concert shows, live shows, right? Merch is linked, social media, the photos, and just all the behavior and stuff like that to determine who's eligible. I know I got mine. Everyone keeps saying that AI is going to replace musicians, but something interesting is happening. Spotify isn't trying to stop AI, they're trying to stop people from abusing it. And if you're a real artist, these changes should really inspire you of what's taking place. My name's Chris, also known as the artist Manafest. I have over 250 million streams, real streams on Spotify alone. I made the majority of my income though touring. We've toured over 22 different countries, but now these last few years I've been really focused on just writing songs and making the majority of my income from streaming. So this stuff's really important to me. Number one, that what Spotify is doing and has been doing for years is fighting the fake streams. I know so many artists who have bought in these shady playlist promotion companies and they were really just fake plays, and what the problem with that is the more of these fake streams that get on there, they take away from the streaming pool. Okay, because Spotify has this legitimate streaming pool where all the streams go in, all the royalties are generated, but if fake artists are stealing that and they're not real streams, it takes away from the real artists like you and me, okay? Fake streams don't just hurt Spotify, they hurt real musicians, and you don't want them anyways. And I know, unfortunately, labels and major label artists, and there's a lot of shady stuff going on there, but let's stay away from that stuff, and I'm glad that Spotify's doing something to at least bring it down, because I know so many artists that unfortunately got tricked by fake playlist promotion companies, right, that promised them real streams. They were white gloves, so to speak, and they ended up getting some of their songs flagged and taken down. So we want to avoid that. Number two, Spotify's been removing AI spam. This one really bothers me. Spotify's been aggressively removing spam tracks and fake uploads designed to game the recommendation system, okay? Later policies updated reports that tens of millions of spammy tracks had been removed as part of the effort. So I'm glad they're removing it. What bothers me is that there's all these fake songs. I know artists that are just uploading hundreds of songs, even people that I've known. It's why are you sending this to me? You're able to upload 5,000 fake songs and it just floods the release radar. It takes away from the royalty pool. So I'm glad they're cracking down on this. Number three, they're really cracking down on AI impersonation. This is probably one of the biggest ones, but Spotify's been investing in systems to detect when someone uploads music pretending to be another artist. That's the most rudest wrong thing ever. Not only are you stealing, but you're impersonating someone else. I've had someone pretend to put a feature on me or try and tag me on Spotify or something like that, and they're also doing stuff like that to stop that. But these actual AI voice clones and stuff like that, they're literally parasiting off of other people's work. And I know we get inspired. I get inspired by so many artists. And, there's been impersonations and clones, so to speak, for years. But the problem is that the level that they're doing and the level and speed of theft, right? So I'm glad they're cracking down on this. Again, using AI, using technology. So it's kind of like people thought, oh, the internet is going to be bad and this is going to be bad. No, it's just that all things can be used for either good or they can be used for evil. And we want to use them for good. Technology has helped a lot of people, saved a lot of lives. I'm all for that. Making even more better music, let's do that, but let's keep it in this fair playing field, right? I like this quote here where it's look, AI isn't the enemy, pretending to be another artist is. And I remember one of my mentors said to me, you always want to be you, right? You don't want to try to be somebody else, because when you're trying to be someone else, that person's not there because you can never be them and you're not there. The real you isn't there when you're trying to be someone else. The best person you can be is the authentic you. Number 4 is better artist and verification and release approval. I've seen this inside of Spotify, which is really rad, and inside of DistroKid as well. But Spotify has begun investing in tools that let artists approve releases before they appear on their profile. So it helps to stop these AI generated. Spotify has begun testing tools that let artists approve releases before they appear on their profile. And this helps stop these AI generated impersonation and technically metadata hijacking. Okay, so it's the idea of like, you're putting these tags. People used to do this like with Google, they used to do it with YouTube, where just because it had the tag or just because it had the title, and it's almost like this clickbait, right? Like, okay, since it had this title, I go and watch it, or we get all this traffic because that's how search was. It was all tag related, and then all the keyword terms and stuff like that. But the actual content itself wasn't real. And so that's why AI and the algorithm has gotten so good, because now it can really recommend based on the content, the viewer experience, right? And so like you got to think about like what Spotify is really trying to do on a good level is like, look, it's reading all the data. It's got all the listening behavior. I was saying to my inner circle students, it would be really rad if we knew, like if we could see like the drop off, like the retention, just like we can on YouTube. Like on your song or your video, right, on YouTube, you can see when someone stops listening to it or when there's a big dip. How rad would that be if we had that with our songs, right? So that we can see, okay, someone's dropping off like fast, or they're dropping off at the pre-chorus, they're dropping off at the bridge, they're dropping off at the second verse. And it's like, okay, like that's good feedback. Like maybe the verse wasn't as good, maybe the bridge wasn't as good, maybe the chorus wasn't as good, right? And we can go and fix that. Like that would be a rad use of technology, so we can make our songs better. I know I definitely do that for the videos here. What would be really rad too is like if you could split test covers, like single covers, right? Because like just like on YouTube where you split test the different thumbnails to get the highest click-through rate. When you're on Netflix, when you're on Amazon Prime, when you're watching movies, what have you noticed with some of the shows and movies you watch? The thumbnails are changing. And they're changing actually quite frequently because they want to try and get the highest click-through rate and get that attention. How rad would that be if we could like split test our album artwork and try new stuff or update it? It'd be pretty cool, man. Like so that we could like just get the highest click-through rate, but also allow us to do like it's like the deluxe version or whatever. We don't have to necessarily wait for that, right? I don't know what the tech would be on that, but Spotify, if you're listening, I think that'd be pretty cool. So instead of worrying about AI, here's what we can do right now. Become impossible to clone. AI might be able to copy your voice, maybe not perfectly, but it can't copy your story. It can't copy your fingerprint, okay? Why you wrote the song, the behind the scenes, right? The story of like what inspired it, your live performance, your testimony, what you've gone through, your personality, your attitude. What's up, dude? You know what I mean? Like put your spin on it, right? People don't become fans of songs, they become fans of the artist. They might love the song, but they become a fan of you. It might be your style, your swag, whatever it is, right? And so maybe we need to stop, for number 2, is stop posting songs. Start building a brand. Nobody wakes up thinking, I hope I hear another independent artist post a Spotify link today. You know what I mean? But they do want to watch your journey. They do want to see your struggle. I always say people will relate to your struggle more than they relate to your success. When I tell you I've gone into $30,000 in debt touring, I lost my dad to suicide when I was 5 years old. I lost my sister just a couple of years ago. I know people who've struggled with alcohol, blacked out. I remember my friend telling me about how he blacked out. And I blacked out. I'm like, dude, how much do you got to drink to black out? I ended up writing a song called Blackout. That was the story behind that song, because I was like, dang, dude. So it was like this prayer song, your opinions, your wins, your process, right? Like what you go through. We need to, like, number 3 would be like doubling down on human content, right? Those concerts, those live streams, those meet and greets. They can't pull out a Sharpie and sign it, can they? Those authentic conversations. They can't sign and number that vinyl, can they? The different color variations. So there's all these different things that we can do to really connect with our fans, let alone like doing shorts, doing reels, doing TikToks, right? Doing remixes, acoustic things, like all these different things to make us separate from this as building a brand. And guess what? Yeah, it takes work, but it's building a business. We shouldn't fear AI. AI should fear us. We want to be on the attack mode, not on the defensive, right? Like we want to speak from a place of victory. We want to encourage people. We want to write songs that impact lives. We need to tap into our why again, why you got into music, because like that's going to stand the test of time. You know, Proverbs 24:16 says, even though a righteous man falls down 7 times, he gets up and goes again. You know, 2 Timothy 2:1, I think, says, we weren't born with a spirit of fear, but a spirit of power, of love, and a sound mind. And I know for me, when I get in the love mode instead of the fear mode, when I get in the mode of who can I help, who can I love on, who can I encourage, that flushes the fear out. Happened at a show one time. I was more focused on me, what I look like, what I sound like, how my show is going to go. I'm like, no. Let's just go inspire some kids. I see some skater kids over there. I see some kids over there. Why don't I just go say what's up to them? Why don't I compliment them on their outfit? Why don't I go leave a nice comment for somebody else when I'm wanting comments, right? Like we always want this comments. Why don't we go love on somebody else first? Why don't we encourage our friend who's doing music? Leave some fire emojis. Say, dude, love this. Love what you're doing, as opposed to judging them in the background. I don't know who this is speaking to, but I think it's speaking to you right here, and that, look, your story is not done yet because you're still writing it. You know, God has personally changed my life. Obviously, the principles from the Bible have like really impacted my life on how to get rid of the fear, how to get rid of the anger, the insecurity, the anxiety. Like, heck, I just wrote a song called Paralyzed because there's been times where I felt like that. Even in the studio, making these videos for you, I felt that way. But I don't listen to that voice of fear. I listen to the voice of faith. You know, the Bible talks about, I know my shepherd's voice. Well, if I know the shepherd's voice, well, then I should also get to learn, well, who's the voice of fear? You know, who's telling me to give up? Who's telling me to quit? Right? That's not the voice of faith. It's not God. It's not Jesus speaking to me. No, it's the other voice. So I'm not going to listen to the voice of the devil. I'm going to listen to Jesus, who says, I can do all things through Christ who strengthens me. Like I was born for a purpose. Whether you believe in God, believe in Jesus or not, He believes in you. And I believe in you no matter what you believe in. Just want to see you win, want to see you succeed. That's why I make these videos, okay? Keep going.